And welcome back to WTL, everybody. I'm your host, Andy Klassen, joined by,
Jabron,
the Parlay Pounder.
you got it. We're back.
Yes, we are. And a little bit of a Super Bowl hangover, but it was a good hangover.
It was.
Most importantly, we picked the winner.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, the Chiefs came out and kind of took care of business. Everybody's kind of, iffy on that last holding call, but that's for the ref to decide, not us. So
And the receiver or the defensive back straight up said, "Yeah, I held him. I was just hoping he would let it go."
yeah.
I mean, when you have an admission of guilt by the defensive player, yeah, we all would like to have seen the last possession. But I think the rules of the game might trump what the viewers want to see as far as
I agree.
deciding a game.
I agree, Andy. And yeah, like you said, he broke the rules, and no matter what, I think the Chiefs were in really, really good position to win that game.
Yeah. Yep.
No matter what, they did a really good job, and then that heads up play by McKinnon, there sliding at the end, really sealed the fate for the Eagles. So it was a very good game, one of the best Super Bowls I can remember in a long time.
A lot of offense, man, and that's really what we're going to talk about. This first segment is a Super Bowl recap, and then, of course, some of our hits and our misses. We had a lot of fun with Super Bowl 57. Once again, I want to thank everybody that played our prop pick'em challenge. That was, man, we had some guys that were making some picks, 18 to 25.
Yeah, 18 to 25, 17 to 25 took home the gift cards and T-shirts and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, thanks for everybody for coming out and doing that. And, yeah, those were a lot of fun things, Andy, heads or tails, or, will Travis Kelce get a touchdown? Will Jalen Hurts go over this many yards? Very fun stuff. And, yeah, some of our listeners were really good at it.
Yes, they were. Yeah, and we all looked away for some reason at the Super Bowl party I was at when they dumped the Gatorade on them. Everyone's, what color was it? What color was it?
It was crazy. It was the color nobody expected. Everybody's thinking lemon, lime, green, red, one of those three colors. And then purple comes out of nowhere and seals the fate for everyone. So if anybody I had a bet on it that was any other color than lemon, lime, was at plus money. So I did hit that one.
Ooh, there you go, Mr. Parlay Pounder. Killing it at the end.
Gatorade, man.
I got to say, I was a little nervous there it is. The folks watching us on YouTube, we got a Gatorade, orange Gatorade made the appearance. But right before kickoff, they went through the whole panel's picks, and I think it was all 8 of those guys were on the Eagles, and I'm thinking, oh man, do they know something we don't?
Yeah.
Because we both went with the Chiefs. We, gave Philadelphia a lot of credit and said, yeah, they might have a better roster, but they don't have a better quarterback, although Jalen played great. I'm not taking anything away from him. And yet, I just thought Andy Reid fired Philadelphia's coach just a couple of seasons ago because he wasn't good enough.
Yeah. And no, everybody was on the Eagles. Everybody that I talked to was on the Eagles, and I just think it was just because they had such a a good roster up and down at Andy. And yeah, like you said, we just came back to the superstars are on Kansas City side, with Travis Kelce, Andy Reid, and Patrick Mahomes. Now with Jalen Hurts not fumbling that ball in the first half, in scoring that touchdown, that might have sealed the fate for the Kansas City Chiefs, going up on them by two and a half scores there. That was huge of him to fumble that ball and give Kansas City that defensive touchdown. Major turning point in the game for me.
Yeah, it was a Super Bowl full of big plays, and that was definitely one of the biggest. You really do got to tip your cap to Jalen Hurts. I mean, he had an all-time performance. Sure. 15 rushes for 70 yards. That's about a 5-yard average. 3 touchdowns. 3 touchdowns. One of them killed a lot of bets out there, that first one, because Gainwell, they called him in.
I know, man. Yeah, nope. Another crazy prop bet that I put in right before the Super Bowl was I put in a bet that the first touchdown score would be over under, and I picked the over. Jersey number 11.5. So I really needed Gainwell to be in there, and then obviously number 1 got in there, so it went under that. So I was really banking on Kelce to hit that for me, but Eagles got the ball first, and I really thought I hit it with Gainwell. I was jumping up and down, and then Hold up,
Yep.
review. So nope, that that one started me off on the wrong foot.
Well, since we're already talking a little hits and misses, let's talk
Yeah,
about one of your hits. We had so much fun throughout the entire Super Bowl week. We had those daily picks that we put on YouTube Shorts, got a lot of traction, a lot of interaction. I do want to say, I I don't want to call people haters, because
yeah,
just because they disagree with us, that's okay. That's all part of the
right.
fun. The entire panel on Fox Sports disagreed with us, and
Yeah,
hey, we were right. And I'm not saying that Terry Bradshaw's a dummy.
yeah,
You
of
know
course
what I
not.
mean?
There's a
So
lot more
I
benefit
love
than
the
pain.
interaction, and if anything, I really like to hear other people's thoughts and where they're coming from. It just
Of
makes
course.
you a better sports fan, sports better in general. So I welcome all the feedback, and it doesn't just have to be the stuff that agrees with us.
Of course, Andy. No, and yeah, anybody that gives me a little flack on Twitter or YouTube or whatever, I love it because I know that I'm not all knowing, and I know that I'm not one of the smartest guys out there. I just like looking at the data, looking at my favorite players, and saying this guy's probably going to score a touchdown. And one that I really called early in the week was Travis Kelsey anytime touchdown.
Ooh.
Just anything leading up to this game, you knew
Yeah.
that this guy was going to have a big game.
Yep.
It kind of happened for him in the first half, that he had his big shining moments and all that kind of stuff. But
Yep.
he was still that guy for Patrick Mahomes. Anytime that he needed a crucial play or anything like that, 6 receptions, 81 yards, and 1 touchdown. Very good game for the Kelsey.
Targeted 6 times, hauled all 6 of them in, and
Yeah,
man, that touchdown, that was just pretty. Both those
yeah,
guys were on the same page. Perfect dime over the shoulder. I mean, you couldn't have drawn it up any better. And I'm glad you went there because I wanted to ask you. A lot of people were betting the 6.5 receptions or over.
yeah.
You shied away from that in your daily picks, and you went with the anytime touchdown. What led to you betting the anytime touchdown over the receptions? Because he was right there, but he was a half catch short. It did not cash.
Yeah, the thinking there, Andy, is just like with Patrick Mahomes stuff, you never know what game it's gonna be. You never know if it's gonna be a shootout. You never know if it's gonna be, one team gets up early and then it becomes a running game for one of the teams. So
Yeah.
7.5 or 6.5 catches. That's a lot of catches to have during the point of a game.
Yeah.
You're sitting there saying Travis Kelsey, obviously he's going to do it, but no, you kind of think that no matter what, he's going to have a touchdown in the game just because they're going to get within
Yeah.
the red zone, and he is the biggest red zone threat of them all. So that's what I was thinking on that instead of the receptions.
And I got to give you a little credit here. I got to go over some of one of my misses, and I gave you a lot of flack last week over the big plays. Any passing play or play over 40 yards or more,
Definitely a couple of them.
there was a couple of them. Jalen Hurts only had 2 passes and touchdowns over 40 yards the entire season.
Yeah,
Then he ends up with 2 of them in the
yeah,
Super Bowl, a 45-yard long pass to Devontae Smith, another 45-yard long pass to A.J. Brown.
yeah.
I mean, it was
The
just like
touchdown.
that second one was just like just twisting the knife a little bit. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
But I mean, they're a big play offense, and man, did they come to play. I thought it was an enjoyable Super Bowl, and you nailed it with it was decided by a field goal. It was decided by 3.
Yeah. And I mean, it just felt like that type of game, Andy. And these two teams are so evenly matched and so good. You can literally just kind of flip the halves, in
Yeah.
general. That's how the game played out. Like Eagles won the first half, Kansas City snuck it out in the second half, just barely. And very fun to watch. But yeah, that those big plays, Andy. I like after I said the over, I was kind of doubting myself, and just seeing Jalen Hurts heave that ball that long, you can tell that he's not used to doing that. It took
Yeah.
all the oomph to get it to the end zone for that
Yeah.
AJ Brown touchdown in the first half. So I can see that doesn't happen very often, but it's a Super Bowl and you got to go with the big plays.
Yeah, and along with that, I kind of doubled down on what I thought the Eagles were going to accomplish through the passing game. So I kind of shorted them. So the 244 yards over under on passing yards for Jalen Hurts, he went way over 300
Way
yards,
Yeah.
304. So 2 of my props that I felt pretty good about going into the big game, boy, they were, and it didn't look good from the get go because
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts was slicing and dicing up that defense.
Yeah, no doubt, Andy. And if anybody took any overs on Jalen Hurts, you're probably sitting there with some cash in your pocket.
Yeah.
300 yards passing, over 70 yards rushing. with 3 touchdowns. If you just went overall touchdowns, he had 4, 1 passing, 3 rushing. So anything with Jalen Hurts, you're sitting pretty good at the bank.
Yep. So that kind of does it for our Super Bowl recaps, our hits and misses.
Yeah.
We can get into futures. Those lines are already out.
Yeah.
Maybe next week or the following. Do you want to do a rundown of what we got coming up? Daytona 500, right?
Yeah, we got the Daytona 500 coming out on Sunday. We got some crazy basketball action. We got the Terps coming to Nebraska on Sunday. We got Creighton big game this weekend, and we also got KU with another top 25 matchup with Baylor.
Every week, the Big 12 supplies us with multiple top 25 matchups. Just a phenomenal conference from top to bottom this year.
Yeah.
We're also going to talk a little boxing and UFC. Is that right?
How could I forget? Fight night in Las Vegas. A woman fight to, just close it down. It's going to be a really good one. So, stick around and listen for that.
All right, before we let everybody go, let's take a minute to say thank you to one of our presenting sponsors, and that is the Nebraska Brewing Company, world class in every glass. I'm enjoying the Cardinal in my Kansas City Chiefs koozie. So congrats to them on their Super Bowl victory, and they're the odds-on favorite again to win it next year. You heard the horn. We're up against it. So don't go anywhere, folks. WTL will be right back.